Welcome everybody, this is Shane from Urgent Fury, and we're going to show you a little bit of Risk. Just came out on PS4 by Ubisoft. Of course, everyone realizes that Urgent Fury's Tac Map tournament is built around the game Risk and capturing territories with you playing a game, say Call of Duty or whatever, to determine who wins the territory. But this is the classic game Risk brought to the PS4. And I have to say, this is the classic game, you know, just conquer everything. It's quite well done. It's a lot of fun because it's got a little bit of animations to it. It's got some, still all the strategy. I actually set this up. The color coding is pretty simple. So the red AI player isn't very aggressive. The yellow AI player is going to be a defensive player. And then the green was a balanced player. So those are the three AI settings that you can choose from, which is aggressive, balanced, or defensive. So I wanted to see, you know, get a feel for how each one played. And this is a good bit into the game. And actually, I got interrupted midway through the game because we blew a breaker, of all things, in the house, and found out there was an autosave. So even if you have some kind of, you know, interruption or you gotta stop, it autosaves the game and you can pick up almost right where you left off. I mean, it was within seconds of where we got interrupted. So this is picking up after we got going, and I actually kind of started here because I went on just a massive attack through this, trying to eliminate the aggressive player. I almost got him down. As we go along, you'll see I got him down to a couple of territories, but if you notice the star count underneath the player's name, it's just like in the real game. You can trade your cards in for however many troops, and there's a nice little chart that tells you how many. And I actually saved mine until to try and, you know, build up my troop count so that when I did get ready to go on a real offensive, I was able to. But everything's very simplistic. You, as just playing against the AI, you don't get to roll defensively. You only roll your dice in an offense posture. But just like before, you roll 3 dice, up to 3 dice, depending on how many units you have. Same with the defensive dice, they 1 or 2, 3 dice, 1 to 2 dice, depending on how many they have. So it's just like the classical Risk game. So this is kind of where I tried to get in here, and he. Gets all the way down there. I actually eliminate the red player here. So now, I've seen some reviews on this. They talk about how it can be a little slow at times, but you can hit the skip button and skip all this stuff. I don't think the play time, at least local play, is too long, too short. And with the skip option, if you want to fast forward through stuff, you can. And even with the ability to do your auto attack, which basically skips all the rolling animation and all that stuff, you can do that option. You can go that route too. So later in the video, we'll see me. I did do some auto attack to see what it was like. It takes all the pizzazz out of it and just kind of, you know, does its thing, determines a winner based on the randomness. But a lot of settings you can do. We can go through those in another video. The one thing I do notice, this is a little bit different than the board game, is you can fortify any territory as long as there's a path through your territory. You can get to any territory and add some armies to it, some units.
Draft phase. Attack phase. Yellow AI has kept. Yellow AI. Fortify phase. Green AI. Draft phase.
And same thing with this, if you got multiple AI players, you can hit square and speed up the AI
Has
play
captured North Africa.
and skip through all this stuff. So as you can see, the AI is actually pretty smart. You'll notice when you play against AI, they'll realize that
45
you
phase.
own a country and attack one of your territories to try to block you from getting your army bonuses from that territory. So this is where I'm going to go on a chaotic just attack phase. You can see there's a little chart kind of side. Took me a couple times to figure this out. I would select them all and hit X. What you do is you select all and hit square, and that gives you all of your units there. So I'm going through trying to decide what my game plan was. Ideally, I knew I wanted to get North America. I wanted to get Europe and Asia and secure those, and kind of work my way around. I end up working my way through Africa down to South America when it's all said and done. You'll see I almost eliminated both of these players on this turn, but didn't quite make it. So I'll kind of sit back and let you guys kind of watch how this played out.
Placement complete. Attack phase.
One thing that's kind of cool, you got various animations that you can work with
Victory.
when you're playing. There's different animations for the different attacks, but as you play, you can unlock additional stuff. Now, none of that's activated on here yet. I didn't go back and activate any of it while I was playing this match. But you get like biplanes and different little rewards as you play the game that you can go onto Uplay and unlock different dice, like bone dice, red dice, all that stuff. So you get rewarded through the game, but overall it takes the game risk and gives it a little more, just a little more interactivity.
Our attack was a success.
One of the interactive things I like about what they've done with the game is this whole battle sequence, and you hear call-outs from the different tank commanders and stuff like that.
Our attack was a success. Our attack was a success.
I had to be a little strategic when I did this to make sure I could come back up and around.
We were victorious. Our attack was a success. Our attack was a success. Yellow player.
Alright, so this is the second player now I've eliminated. Of course, you get all their cards that they had in their hand for to trade in for additional troops and stuff. So I took out the red player pretty early on, and then which was the aggressive player, and the yellow player is the defensive player. So now I'm playing against the balance here on out, the green player, with the green AI, I guess is a better way to say it. And just like the regular Risk game, there is that frustration when you keep getting the wrong dice. The little tank that could, I swear.
Our defeat defies explanation.
And as you can see, the dice come out in his favor. I was so irritated. That's alright. I planned ahead for that. I had a little strategy. It was more of a defensive strategy. That's why those 5 armies were that 5 units were on that particular
We have
country. But you know,
Africa.
in the end of the day, it worked out, and I got Africa. So I eliminated the yellow player. I got Africa. Now I'm gonna kind of see if I can go all for it with what little army I got left.
We were victorious.
Now this is one of the key things I didn't pay attention to with the green player is how many stars he has. So you can see he's got 6 stars, so he's got 6 stars just going in before his turn.
Victory. We are outperforming our rivals.
And that's going to come back and bite me in the butt here in a minute.
Victory. We are outperforming our rivals. We have captured North America.
You can hear my frustration. I was so close to knocking all 3 out in that one turn. So close. And here he is. He's got 2 territories with 2 armies. And there's nothing I can do.
Support. We don't have enough troops to attack.
I did that purely so you can see it. When you're playing, you can hit tactical support and it will recommend attacks for you.
We have earned a territory.
So these are all the territory cards I've received from the other players.
Fortify phase. Green AI draft phase.
Now this is going to show you how smart the AI is as he puts his armies in.
Attack phase. Green AI has captured Argentina. Green AI has captured Brazil. Green AI has captured South America.
All right, so now he's got a country back, and now he's going to go after. Here I thought he was going to go after Africa. No, he goes straight after a territory in Europe. So he knocks me out of
Green
Europe. He knocks me out of Africa.
Green Green AI has
And I'm skipping through them all. You can see that.
Green AI.
And you heard me talk about the back door. I thought he was going to come up and around on North America, but it turns out he goes for Russia. He's like, that's the most territories, the biggest territory control where you get the most
Green AI.
reinforcements. So I was so frustrated. But because I had gotten all these cards, look at how many stars I've got.
The war will end, and whoever has the most territories will be the winner.
There you go again, hitting X instead of square. You heard her talking about the ceasefire cards, so that's an option you can turn on or off when you're setting your game up. And the way it works is if you're playing, once somebody draws that ceasefire card, that's it. So wherever the score lays when that ceasefire card comes up, it's whoever wins. But like I said, that's an optional card. You don't have to have that activated. And I didn't see it this game.
Placement complete. Attack phase.
Alright, here we go.
Our attack was a success.
I'm getting so frustrated at this point. This is when I hit the auto, and that's what it does for the auto. It just kind of takes away all the animation and just goes through and decides a winner. But if you look on the screen underneath you as an attacker, it gives you a percentage what the probability is you'll win an auto.
Another victory. Our position is strong. Our attack was a success. We have captured South America. We have captured North Africa.
Now I'm kind of moving in on his final territories here in Europe, and it kind of comes into play here in a second. You'll see where I didn't think ahead and didn't have the right angle, because one of the things I noticed is you got to leave a minimum number of armies behind a territory that you win. So you'll see that here shortly. It's really only because I continued attacking from the bottom instead of coming back up from the top into Europe.
Another victory. Our position is strong. We have captured Asia.
So you see I gotta leave behind three of my army units instead of one.
We have captured Scandinavia.
At this point, I'm confident that I have enough units left in my other territory to finish him off, because he only has 2 territories left. With 20 units versus what he has, even you probably would have done the same thing I did.
Our attack was a success.
My favorite animations right there. Gunship.
Our attack was a success. We have captured Europe. Green has been defeated.
Alright, so there it is. That's what happens when you win the match. You get a nice little fireworks show. I don't know what happens when you lose. This, like I said, was my first round, literally. And even through a power outage, or not power outage, but the breaker shutting down, the whole house going dark. I came back and won the match. But that's what it is. PS4 just came out. It's only $14.99 there on the PSN store. Go pick it up. It's fun. We might have to try this out. If you're interested in doing a tournament, let us know on the Urgent Fury forums. And maybe we'll have a little fun with some Risk. Old school. You know, just like the Urgent Fury was built around the Attack Map tournament. How about we actually do a real Risk tournament? So keep it locked on right here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And catch us on blogtalkradio.com/urgentfury, where you can call in and be on the show live with us. We do it twice a month with Doc and Commander Fury.
Congratulations, General. You have won the war. Your enemies have been defeated.
And after you get all your little Uplay scorecards here, it'll show your stats for the game. So thanks for joining us, and you guys have a great day.